How's it going there, everyone? It's Mr. Zen over here, bringing you guys a brand new One Piece chapter discussion. And for today's segment, guys, we are going to be talking about One Piece chapter 846. And in this chapter, folks, we actually get to see a lot of actual information that's actually building up to the Poneglyphs themselves. We actually get to see, we witness Luffy himself lose against the Enraged Army, and holy snap, guys, Big Mama herself in this chapter makes another appearance again, guys. And oh, wow. Holy snap, guys. We get so much information in one tiny chapter every single week that it's always interesting to see what One Piece is always going on about. Personally, guys, I rather like reading One Piece due to the fact that so much happens in one freaking chapter. Like, legitly. Like, after reading one chapter, guys, you're always left wondering, like, oh, I want to know what else is going to happen. Oh, I want to know what this character is going to do now in this certain situation now that he's left in a dire of peril. Like, it's just like, I'm loving how Oda just leaves the freaking readers in that kind of situation. He loves leaving us in suspense. And I'm loving how this arc is actually heading towards due to the fact that now we're actually going to get Brook and Pedro to get some more spotlight in these actual chapters. Like I said, guys, this chapter was very different from the previous chapter. From the last chapter, you know, we actually saw Sanji finally saying yes to actually putting in everything. But now in this chapter, guys, know this one was more of a battle-oriented chapter and more of Big Mama's Pirates being exposed in this freaking chapter. Like, oh my god, guys, oh my god, we can't just get enough of One Piece. But let's get to it, guys. In the first act of this chapter, guys, we actually are witnessing Luffy against the Enraged Army. We witnessed that Luffy actually lost against the Enraged Army, guys, and that was very much lost for words as well, due to the fact that, you know, we actually were hoping that Luffy was actually gonna at least come out like by winning, but at least coming out like, oh, okay, you know, kind of coming out of the battlefield. He collapses at the end of the battlefield, but, you know, the whole Enraged Army was like done. But no, that's not the case. The Enraged Army actually completely obliterated Luffy in this freaking chapter. We witnessed Luffy had no way of means of actually escaping for the freaking Enraged Army, guys. There is no way. We literally see Bobbin, Amanda, Monteor, Opera, so many freaking Big Mama Pirates against Luffy. Even the little pawns themselves were being taken out while Luffy was, you know, trying his best. But it all else fails, guys. It really does fail for Luffy due to that same fact that Luffy was just overwhelmed. He really was. And come on, I mean, he freaking fought against Cracker in a couple chapters ago for freaking almost 20 hours. Or almost a day, basically. Like, legitimately, you just see Luffy just at the brink of the point of his own exhaustion, guys. Like, he's still a human at the end of the day, guys. He can't do this forever. But granted, though, we actually see that Luffy actually get taken down, and we actually get in actually a little bit of more information as to what kind of powers of Big Mama Pirates actually have. What's it called? Monteor, he actually showcased his powers, and it seemed to be very interesting due to the fact that it actually had more of an Alice in Wonderland kind of vibe going at it, due to the fact that Monteor actually has like the powers, I'm assuming books, but that's a little too vague to say books. I feel more like it's illusions. And he uses papers to actually create the illusions. That's what my personal opinion is. That he actually uses papers to make illusions actually appear. Because if it was really a book devil fruit, it really wouldn't make any sense. Because if it was a book devil fruit, wouldn't that make it count as more like a paramecia? Like I said, it just kind of mixes up a little bit of things in there. Like I said, I just feel like he has more of an illusionary devil fruit due to that fact that he's actually able to control the paper itself, and by forming the paper itself, you can actually mold it into something. Like I said, that's my personal opinion on Monteor's powers, and I'm gonna stick to that because it just makes more sense. Because remember, Oda does use some logic at times whenever he's creating in fights. I like that he does that in every single chapter. But granted, though, that's not just what else happened. We actually then get to see Amanda involved in this chapter with her Meito sword, guys. And that's a famous sword, if you guys aren't familiar with the One Piece universe. And that's basically means that it's a very important sword. That's all. That's all you have to know. It's a very important sword, and her sword is called Whitefish. Granted, though, if freaking Zoro was involved in this chapter, it would have been a little bit more interesting due to the fact that, you know, we actually get to see another swordsman against another swordsman. But no, we actually don't. And we actually see in this chapter, holy snap, we see Amanda actually freaking cut King Bomb in half, and the onomatopoeia that was involved in there, ooh, was just excruciating. You literally see King Bomb's dialogue tell Amanda, just kill me already. And you literally see Amanda's own demeanor completely overwhelm King Bomb and say, no, due to the fact that of your treacherous reasons, I'm gonna cut you in the slowest possible way. And I'm here like, ouch! Like, just hearing those words come out of her is just horrible. And also, it kind of, like I said, she kind of gives off that actual pirate vibe. Like, legitimately, she has that Pirate of the Caribbean's vibe off of her. And that's what I'm loving about her herself. You know, I'm hoping to see more of Amanda in the future chapters themselves, due to the fact that she seems like the only swordsman that's involved in these actual arc. But who knows, guys? Who knows? With Amanda or the other ones. And Opera himself was actually involved in this chapter, and we actually witnessed himself actually facing off against freaking Luffy, as we actually see him create like these wax figurines out of cheese or sauce. It's just like all the food puns that were involved with Opera. Like, there was just so much going on in action that all the action panels that were involved in the chapter, it just makes it seem like Oda really gave it his best in this chapter, guys. I'm not lying to you. And that's the thing, it kind of leaves viewers just leaving their jaws dropped due to that actual reason. Like I said, this actual chapter, guys, holy snap, just left us. And Nami herself, guys, in this chapter, we actually noticed that her Vivier card was actually taken away by Amanda. So it just goes on to say that's it. Luffy's crew is literally slowly being taken away. Remember, guys, Brook and Pedro are the only ones that are now, you could say, the only ones that are able to reliably help Luffy, Nami, Chopper, and Carrot. That's it. Everyone else is practically gone. But granted, though, don't worry, we'll get to that part in just a moment. But Act 2 then actually starts off with the more of exposition and actually Sanji actually talking to Big Mama herself. And it seems that Sanji was actually telling Big Mom, you know, I'm actually agreeing to the marriage. I can't wait to get married. We all know it's an act, of course. We know Sanji does not want to get married. It's just that the way he's kind of being left at in that position, it just makes it seem like he actually does love her. But Big Mama's boisterous attitude just overwhelms Sanji that she can't see the lies all around her. She can't see it since she's leaving them in that kind of predicament. And it kind of makes her look a little bit pathetic due to that kind of reason, that she's doing all of this just to see her vision come true. Like I was noticing that with Big Mama, she has kind of like that bipolar disorder where she was talking to Sanji and she was explaining to him, like, oh, because the Straw Hat Pirates, they messed with me back in what's called Fishman Island. Now that, you know, you're getting married, I'd rather get this overdone and I'll let everything else go. Granted, that's actually pretty nice of her. But like I said, it's Big Mama. So we don't know what might happen with her in the later chapters, because someone might actually come in and actually betray her. And remember, we still have Capone involved. So, you know, with Capone involved, we still don't know what else he's going to do at the Tea Party himself. Because of that reason, remember, Peckham's is actually gone as of the moment right now. And I'm hoping that Peckham's comes out of nowhere and actually tells Big Mama herself that freaking Capone is actually doing some kind of side gig with itself. Like I said, I'm hoping that Big Mama opens her eyes. Because remember, she's having a tunnel vision right now. And she's only focused on the marriage involved with the Vince Smokes and her own family. And that's the thing, that she's not noticing nothing else. And that's the sad part about it. She has to notice that, you know, there's still more at stake as involved with marrying the Vince Smoke family. Like I said, the Vince Smoke family themselves, I'm hoping that they actually betray Big Mom and they have start a little rivalry right there due to that same reason, because we want to see the Vince Smoke family take down a powerful Yonko. And if you guys gotta remember, if the Vince Smokes actually do take out Big Mama, it just says a lot to the world that, you know, the Vince Smokes are a very powerful opponent to be faced off, that they're able to take down a Yonko. Woo! But granted, though, that didn't really happen in the chapter. Like I said, it was just basically Sanji explaining to Big Mom that, let the Straw Hat Crew go, and Big Mama said, yes, I'll let them go as long as the marriage is still intact. And granted, though, in Act 2 of the chapter, that was basically, I would say, the bulk of it, of the Act 2. And then we move on to Act 3 of the chapter itself, folks. And that is basically Brook and Pedro's actual moment. But instead, we actually shift a little bit and actually get involved with one of the sweet commanders in this chapter. And holy snap, it's Charlotte Smoothie. My God, guys. My God. Charlotte Smoothie, starting off at 932 million berries. She's almost at the billions. Just how strong is this character? Like, wow. Like, legitimately, all the Yonko Pirates crew members are literally near the billions. Like, legitimately. And it just makes Luffy's crew look like chump change. All the supernovas, it makes them look like they're chump change. Like, legit, I could see why the Yonko are the Yonko now. It's not because of their freaking, their wanted poster. It just shows how feared they are against the world government. Because remember, berries, the wanted poster does not signify strength. It signifies how dangerous they are, not strength, folks. So he goes to say that that Smoothie must be killing people in order to get that really high bounty. And granted, though, we actually get to see Smoothie actually involved more of her devil fruit, or at least a glimpse of her devil fruit, where she actually killed one of her own members in the chapter. And by the way, I kind of figured that was kind of her devil fruit ability, Smoothie, because remember, in this chapter, we kind of noticed that she actually like contorts, or like she kind of squeezes a person like a grapefruit. And while she's squeezing it, like, juice is basically dripping out of the person. I'm assuming that's their lifespan, or their youth, or stem cells. I'm trying to like make some logic out of it, but it would make sense as to why her devil fruit ability would kind of go along with that. And that itself is bringing out the water or the liquids. It can't be blood, that because Oda wouldn't go as dark as that and make it actually blood, but that was actually interesting to see what kind of power her devil fruit ability was. And by the way, the way they kind of gave off the demeanor, kind of gave off that kind of Game of Thrones vibe, which I kind of liked it right there and then. Like, she's sitting at a throne, high up there on top, and no one is actually just messing with her. Even freaking Tamago himself was just literally just talking to her, like, kind of still in a demeanor that's to say, like, he's still a servant. Like, holy snap, even Tamago fears freaking Smoothie herself. But even Smoothie in this chapter still has an important role involved, and not just for showmanship in this chapter, but more or less it's actually for Smoothie's character in this chapter. It was more saying that she's going to be the security guard for the poneglyphs involved in this chapter and the following chapters that are ensuing, because Tamago explained in Act 3 of this part of the chapter where there are 30 poneglyphs in total, and there are four road poneglyphs in total. So it just goes along to say, like, holy snap, like, Whole Cake Island is now becoming more interesting, and like I said, the Yonko saga is becoming closer and actually more developing as the chapters are developing, guys. Like I said, it's just becoming more interesting as to what's going on around. And Tamago himself has stated that thanks to Jinbei, now they're actually having a little bit of an upper hand of the other Yonko due to that reason, because they actually have more freaking polyglyphs in their possession. Like I said, it's just becoming more and more interesting. But it's also kind of giving us a glance that Tamago explained in this chapter that Pedro himself is actually a very important character now. Guys, freaking Pedro is actually a poneglyph thief. Holy snap, like, who actually gets that kind of freaking epithet? Poneglyph thief. Wow. Was actually shocking and surprised and amused at that actual epithet. Like, you just don't get that epithet, guys. Holy snap. For us One Piece fans, of course, we understand that epithet is very important. But for the actual, you could say, the One Piece universe, many people wouldn't really notice that. But only people of high power would actually notice that that's a very important figure. And granted, though, I love the way the dialogue that happened between Pedro and Brook involved in there. Because of that reason, I'm loving the fact that because Brook was actually using his devil fruit to actually actually hear the thoughts and I'm sorry, not to hear the thoughts, hear the conversation between Tamago and Smoothie, we actually notice that Brook actually states in the chapter that Pedro is gonna help Luffy become the Pirate King. And I'm here thinking, like, is that a freaking hint at Pedro joining the Straw Hats? Because I would love that. Not gonna lie to you, I would really love that if Pedro joins the Straw Hats. That would actually be interesting, and they would need a poneglyph thief. They got a poneglyph reader, and if they get a poneglyph thief, woo! Luffy's crew is gonna be one force to be reckoned with. Holy snap. Granted though, the chapter does end off right there and then with Brook and Pedro saying that because Tamago is actually more interested in actually trying to capture Pedro because he knows Pedro's awareness involved in the actual island. So Pedro is gonna actually sacrifice himself, and not by death. No. He's gonna sacrifice himself to actually make Tamago and most of the pirates that are inside the room where it's holding all the poneglyphs to actually chase Pedro. It's gonna be like a cat and mouse game, and Brook is gonna be the one that's gonna go in there. Granted though, that means that Brook himself is gonna face off against Lord Smoothie. And remember, Lord Smoothie, devil fruit ability, remember, is to suck out, you could say, the skin's juices or the blood or etc, etc. So Brook would be a perfect match against Lord Smoothie because he has nothing to secrete out of his bones except, yeah, like legitimately nothing. Now that would be interesting. I'm hoping we get to see that, Brook against Lord Smoothie, and we'll actually get to see how strong Brook has become over the 2 years time skip to actually face off against a very powerful one. But we don't know if they really are going to do it because, you know, it seems that Smoothie would overwhelm Brook due to the fact that Smoothie is a powerful entity in itself. But granted though, guys, that's it for the chapter. I was just amazed still at just how much this chapter actually bombarded us with information itself. But let me know down in the comments below, folks, what were you guys' thoughts on this chapter? What are you guys' theories that are going to be happening in future chapters involved? And what do you guys think of Pedro joining the Straw Hat Pirate crew? Like I said, I feel like this chapter basically said that. I feel that in its sense. Oh man, I can't wait. But let me know down in the comments below. And as always, guys, if you guys enjoy my content, give a like, comment, share, and subscribe for more One Piece anime or chapters discussions. And as always, guys, have a wonderful day. But this is Mr. Zen signing.
Thank you.